Hello guys, this is AN24. We are here on the streets of Lagos to get people's reaction on the case of notorious kidnapper aka Evans, who recently sued the police to the court. Follow me and let's see people's reaction. And what is your reaction concerning this?
No, you see, everybody has a right to go to court. So going to court is not the issue. So eventually, when you have committed a crime and we are looking for fundamental rights or whatever, what really happens there is that the court will look at the merits of whatever you are bringing before the court and now decide upon it. But the police now is still investigating the matter. Ordinarily, what the law says that you charge person after investigation, but you don't need to keep the person more than 24 hours or detain the person unnecessarily. You take the person to court. If there's any issue, he has to answer for it. So if he goes, the court will look at the merits of what he's bringing. You see, the problem we are having is that sometimes the media trial, people are just bringing a lot of issues and they don't know how the procedures of the court is always in. And the police sometimes takes a lot of time bringing all the issues to people, the public, and people judge wrongly. So he can go to court, he has the right to go to court, but that does not mean that he will get whatever he's asking for.
When they are done at the appropriate time, they will sue him. He's more or less trying to drop the gun. When the appropriate time comes, the police are in the best position to sue him. So that's just my own comment about it. He's a criminal, he's a known criminal, and he's not doubting it. You understand? But presently, the police are still carrying out their investigation. When they are through with the investigation, they will go ahead and sue him.
Everyone basically has his own human rights. There's a saying that says that even on a person's way to hell, he still has his civil rights, still has his human rights. However, we have to consider the circumstances of this case and regarding what has actually happened and the effects of what Evans has done on the community. You understand? Basically, the provision of the Constitution, especially in I think Section 34 and Section 35. Section 35 basically gives us personal liberty that the person should be charged to court within 24 hours or 48 hours. However, there's always a remand procedure that is done for persons that are actually been arrested but cannot be taken to court pending investigation. So they take them to the magistrate courts and they remand them. There will be a remand order from the magistrate to keep them in custody. Why? This is because Evans is a flight risk. He has a lot of money. If he's released, he can run. But that does not mean he does not have his own fundamental human rights to sue. You understand? Even if he's in prison, he has his rights to sue. So to answer your question, anybody can do whatever they want to do. They can actually institute action to uphold their fundamental human rights, basically.
On the issue of Evans suing the police for not having charged him to court in breach of his fundamental human rights, under the Constitution, when a person is arrested for a crime, the police has the duty to charge him to court within 72 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. And if that is not done and he's not released on bail, if it's a non-capital offense, he ought to be released on bail or charged to court. Where that is not done, of course, he has the right to go to court to seek legal redress. But on the other hand, applying sentiment now, that's the position of we're applying sentiment now. It's not easy if you look at the magnitude of what the crime he has committed. But for the police to be able to charge him also to court, there must be a complainant, and I guess they could say they are still carrying out their investigation. So, but it's actually within his legal rights. If he has not been charged to court, he's not been granted bail, you understand, he can seek legal redress for enforcement of his fundamental human rights. So he's not wrong in doing that. But then we also ask, kidnapping, the offense of kidnapping, if they are charging him, it should be under the Lagos State law. But I wonder if the law has been signed. I know that there is a law like that, but has it been signed? The assent of the governor, I don't think the governor has assented to it yet. If you can prove that it involved murder, then of course under that new law, it's a capital offense. So if the police are relying on that, you can say the police are within their rights to have kept him to that point.
Well, he has every right because we are guided by the rules of law. And if he feels that his fundamental rights have been infringed, the ultimate is for court. But don't forget that Ever himself has detained people for so long, 3 months, 4 months, done his escaping and kidnapping. But if he felt that his fundamental rights have been infringed, he has to go to court. Court is the ultimate. And we have rules that guiding how long a police can detain people, how long can they investigate and take him to court. So that's why he went to court for his fundamental human rights. You know, we are operating a law that have a system of dealing with every offense being committed. It's been investigated for gun toting, kidnapping, and all some administrative vices. But in Lagos State, you know, the penalty for kidnapping is for jail terms, long term. But if it's Imo and Anambra, they are party to law that anybody that kidnap people is death. So we have different type of law in different type of states. So if everyone knows that, it's in the public domain that, well, it's a kidnapper, but he has to come to court to prove it. So that is the fundamental issues. If the police cannot, if they fail to charge him to court as when the law required, he has to enforce his fundamental human rights. So that's the position of the law. So I don't blame everyone going to court because court is the ultimate. The police cannot just keep him there perpetually, but they have to give them time. They can even charge him for court for holding charge, which of course is not it's not applicable now in our legal system. So if he felt that his fundamental rights have been infringed, then you have to seek you have to come to the court to seek that relief. So that's the position.
Well, he has a right to sue because, you know, our constitution makes it mandatory that if anybody is arrested or put in custody in respect of any crime, he has to be charged to court within a specified time. And our constitution also made it clear that a man will always be considered guilty or not guilty until he's found guilty. So as it is, he remains innocent, even though it's obvious that he's a kidnapper. So he has a right to sue.